Hi guys! Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Teach Marky, your science buddy na magpapaliwanag sa inyo ng mga lessons nyo sa science. For this video, what you're gonna learn is about the concept of a species, the classification of organisms using the hierarchical taxonomic system, specifically describe the concept of species, identify the levels of biodiversity as the basis for classifying organisms, and present examples for each, identify the different levels in the hierarchical taxonomic system, and make a concept map to classify organisms using the hierarchical system with examples in each kingdom and economic importance. But before anything else, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification button para maging updated kayo sa mga bagong science video discussions na i-upload ko. So what are we waiting for? Let us now explore the world of science. Before we start our discussion, I have a short activity for you. I will call it Be Amazed. All you have to do is to watch a video clip and you're going to answer 2 questions. The first question is, what are those organisms featured on the video? The second question is, what comprises the biodiversity on Earth?
Biodiversity is a term that represents the total variety of all life on Earth. That's a big thing to sum up. Thousands of different wild habitats, millions of different species, billions of different individuals, and the trillions of different characteristics they all have. The total biodiversity of our planet is immense, which is a good thing, because the more biodiversity, the more secure all life on Earth is, including ourselves. Only when life is at its most varied, vigorous, biodiverse, can we hope to thrive. We may not know it, but we need towering forests across 1/3 of the land surface to lock away carbon and keep the climate stable. We need millions of pollinators and billions of soil organisms and megatons of plankton to keep the food we eat in supply. We need strange plants deep in jungles to create our medicines, and coral reefs and mangrove swamps to protect the coasts we depend upon. Our planet's biodiversity provides all the things we need for free. But it will only do so if there's lots of it, and at the moment it's under attack.
Alright, so the first question is, what are those organisms featured on the video? If your answer is plants, animals, insects, birds, fishes, and humans, that's correct. Question number 2, what comprises the biodiversity on Earth? If your answer is the biodiversity is comprised of different ecosystems that are lived in by different organisms like animals, plants, birds, insects, fishes, etc. This also includes the land, water, air, and sunlight. If your answers are like this, congratulations! To date, sinasabi na around 2 million species of living organisms ang napangalanan na at na-identify. At recently, sinasabi din na dun sa latest actual number ng species na yon ay very close yon sa 8.7 species. According yon sa 2011 UN Environment Program's World Conservation Monitoring Center. Sinasabi na doon sa 8.7 million species na yan, karamihan dyan ay mga insects and microscopic organisms na makikita sa mga tropical regions, but excluded yung bacteria dyan tsaka yung ibang types ng microorganisms. It was also believed na 86% ay mga land species at 91% ay mga marine species na kung saan ay nananatili pang hindi nadidiscover. But we may never know yung total number ng mga species na yan kasi nga baka yung iba dyan ay extinct na kaya hindi pa sila nabibilang or nadidescribe. So nabanggit yung word na species. The word species means a group of organisms that share genetic heritage, are able to interbreed, and create offspring that are also fertile. Pag sinabi natin genetic heritage, ibig sabihin yung mga genes o yung mga traits na present dyan sa genes ng mga organisms na yan ay mayroong similarities. At sila ay meron din kakayahan na mag-interbreed. When we say interbreed, ito yung pagbibreed o yung pag-aasawa ng mga organisms na yan na mayroong similarities sa mga traits. At kapag nangyari yon, sila ay makakapag-produce ng buhay na offspring. At yung offspring na na-produce ay meron din kakayahan na mag-reproduce ng panibagong offspring. Yung pag-name at yung pag-identify ng mga organisms sa environment ay merong field ng science na responsible dyan. At ayan yung tinatawag natin na taxonomy. Yung word na taxonomy galing yan sa two Greek words na taxis, nang ibig sabihin ay arrangement, and nomos, nang ibig sabihin ay laws. So itong taxonomy, ayan yung field ng biology na kung saan ang pinaka-responsibility niya is to process yung identifying, naming, and classifying ng mga organisms na makikita sa environment. And taxonomy is the subdivisions yan ng systematics na kung saan ito naman yung study of biological diversity and its evolution. Yung mga experts na nagpa-practice ng field ng taxonomy ay tinatawag na taxonomists. Kailangan natin i-classify ang mga organisms kasi nakakatulong ito para ma-explain yung great diversity ng life sa Earth at kung paano itong mga organisms na to ay related sa bawat isa. Nakakatulong din ito sa atin para mas maintindihan natin yung ating biological evolution. Na kailangan natin maging aware na tayo mga humans ay mga animals. At meron tayong mga close relatives doon sa tinatawag na animal kingdom. This time, I have another challenge for you. I will call it Scramble Me. I'm going to flash 3 pictures on the screen and under each picture, there are scrambled letters. All you have to do is to arrange them properly so that it will reveal what the picture is all about. So picture number 1, number 2, number 3. These are the scrambled letters for picture number 1, number 2, and number 3. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about your answer. Alright, so let us check if your answers are correct. Picture number 1, that is what we call species. Number 2, genetic. Number 3, ecosystem. So these pictures, ito yung tatlong levels ng biodiversity. Ito yung species biodiversity, genetic biodiversity, and ecosystem biodiversity. So what is biodiversity? Biodiversity, galing yan sa two words na biological and diversity. So biodiversity means ito yung variety of life on Earth at all its levels. Simula yan sa genes hanggang sa ecosystems. Kasama na rin dyan yung evolution. Evolution, ibig sabihin, ito yung development ng organism na yan from being simple hanggang sa present time na naging complex na yung kanyang form. Ecological, ibig sabihin yung relationship niya sa ibang organisms pati na rin sa kanyang environment. And yung cultural processes is, ito yung mga different ways para magkaroon ng adaptation yung mga organisms dun sa environment na kung saan sila nag-i-exist. Ginagawa to para magkaroon ng sustenance ng life or yung pagpapatuloy ng life dun sa klase ng environment na belong siya. So that is what we call biodiversity. So let us get to know the 3 levels of biodiversity. The first one is species diversity. All you have to remember about this one is yung number ng different species na present doon sa isang ecosystem, particularly yung number ng kanilang population. Yung genetic biodiversity naman, it refers doon sa mga genes or DNA, particularly yung mga traits na naipasa ng parent from the offspring or doon sa anak niya. And ecosystem biodiversity, ito naman ay tumutukoy doon sa mga number or iba't ibang ecosystems ng planet Earth, particularly doon sa mga geographical area na kung saan na-identify yung mga organisms or mga species na naninirahan or nag-i-exist. This time, I have a challenge for you. I will call it, who is that species? I'm going to flash 6 pictures on the screen. All you have to do is to name that species in the picture. This is picture number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about your answer. Let us check if your answers are correct. Number 1, that is what we call frog. Number 2, owl. Number 3, tiger. Number 4, turtle. Number 5, snail. And number 6, spider. If all your answers are correct, congratulations. Perhaps kapag pinaklasify ko sa inyo itong mga organisms na to, maging madali na lang sa inyo yung pagka-classify or pagsasama-sama sa mga organisms na yan base sa kanilang mga characteristics. Kasi yung biologists today, nag-apply sila ng mga several system of classification to organize yung diversity or yung pagkakaiba-iba ng mga life forms dito sa mundo. But before, ang tawag dun sa classification system na ginamit is yung primeval system. Yun ay dinevelop base dun sa kung yung organism ba ay harmful, nakakasama ba siya, or non-harmful, or hindi siya nakakasama. Kinlassify din ng mga organism base kung sila ba ay edible or nakakain, or non-edible or hindi nakakain. And during the time of Aristotle noong 300 BC, and by the way, Aristotle is the father of biology, ang classification na ginawa niya is kung yung organism na yan ay merong red blood or wala siyang red blood. Another way na tiningnan is yung physical characteristics, whether that organism is a plant or an animal. So yung nakakalito at medyo magulong classification ng mga organisms na yan ay umabot yan ng 2,000 years. After 2,000 years, nagkaroon ng systematic at maayos na paraan ng pagka-classify ng mga organisms. Dito na nga lumabas yung tatlong classification. Ito yung tinatawag na typological species concept, biological concept, at yung phylogenetic species concept. Yung typological species concept, ang ginawa na classification dito is yung mga organisms, ginrupo sila at yung members ng organism na yan na mayroong certain characteristics na pare-pareha sila, tiningnan pa yung characteristic ng kada species or organism para makita kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng organism na yan from other organisms na kung saan kinabibilangan niya doon sa grupo na yun. Yung modern taxonomy ay sinimula ni Carolus Linnaeus noong 18th century. At noong 1735, naglabas ng libro si Linnaeus na tinawag niya Systema Naturae, na kung saan in-outline niya yung scheme ng classification ng mga organisms doon sa mga known and unknown, according dun sa greater or lesser extent ng kanilang pagkakapareha. Aside from that, he also developed a system of classification with hierarchical categories. Hierarchical, ibig sabihin, inarrange siya according sa rank. Na ang tiningnan niya doon yung organism's morphology. Morphology, ibig sabihin yung kanyang physical na characteristics at yung behavioral characteristics. Sa madaling salita, ang ginawa ni Linnaeus ay nag-assign siya ng organisms into groups, tapos within groups, and then within groups, on and on, hanggang sa ma-defined at makita niya na talaga yung own species o yung organism's individual group. Yung ginawang classification ni Linnaeus ay mayroong pagkakapares dito sa may postal address na to. Halimbawa, alamin natin kung saan i-deliver ni mailman itong letter na to. So, we know for a fact that this letter is sa Philippines. And then sa Philippines, maraming places. So, what particular place? We have the Isabela. Sa Isabela, maraming mga lugar. Saan banda sa Isabela? Sa may Quezon. At sa Quezon naman, maraming mga districts. Anong pangalan ng district sa Quezon? Sa Monte District. At sa district na yan, maraming mga street. Anong name ng street? 35 Rizal Street. At sa street na yan, maraming mga families. So ano yung apelido ng family? We have the De La Cruz family. At sa De La Cruz family na yan, dun sa street na yun ay marami sila. Sino dun sa De La Cruz family? Si Juan. So finally, itong letter na to ay madideliver na ni mailman kay Mr. Juan de la Cruz. So ganito yung konsepto ni Linnaeus sa kanyang pagka-classify ng mga organisms. From general to specific. Talagang hinimay-himay niya at tinignan niya isa-isa yung mga characteristics para mas madali niyang makita kung saang species or anong grupo dapat i-classify itong organism na to. Si Linnaeus, ginrupo niya yung mga living things into kingdoms. Halimbawa, animal kingdom and plant kingdom. Ito yung highest category or level kung saan nandito yung mga cellular organization and methods of nutrition. Within dito sa kingdom, yung mga organisms, further divided pa siya into several phyla. Singular niyan phylum, para sa animals yan. Divisions naman kapag sa mga plants. At dito sa mga level na to, yung mga organisms dito ay meron silang similarities in basic body plan organization. Sa kada phylum of division, yan ay made up of several classes. Yung classes, ito yung below the phylum. At sa bawat class, meron yung several orders. Order is more specific than class. Within each order ay mayroong tinatawag na family. As the name implies, yung organisms dito belong to the same family or nagpapakita sila ng close resemblance sa bawat isa. At sa kada family, yan ay binubuo ng several genera. Genus kapag singular. At yung genus na yan ay binubuo yan ng several species. Yung species, ito yung most specific unit ng classification at basic unit ng identification. Yung mga organisms dito sa category na to, sila yung capable ng breeding with one another para makapag-produce ng mga fertile offspring na mag-grow at madedevelop within much complication. Ang isang halimbawa nito is kingdom, Animalia, phylum, Chordata, class, Mammalia, order, Primata, family, Hominidae, genus, Homo, species, Sapiens. Ito yung tinatawag natin na hierarchical category or taxonomy. Ibig sabihin, arrangement in order of rank. This time, let us take a look at some examples of typological species concept. So we have here categories, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. First organism is domesticated cat. Look at the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, dog, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, bangus, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, wolf, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, and lion, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Now I have 3 questions based on the table. The first question is, which organisms in the table are similar to the order category? Simula kingdom hanggang order category. So look at the table. So we have here the domesticated cat, dog, wolf, and lion. Second question is, which organisms are most closely related and why do you say so? So we have here domesticated cat and lion, then dog and wolf. Bakit? Kasi same sila hanggang dito sa my family. Si domesticated cat at saka si lion, pati si dog and wolf. Next question is, can a dog and wolf produce fertile offspring? Explain your answer. Dog and wolf. The answer is yes. Wolves and domesticated dogs can breed and produce offspring. Doon sa dog and wolf, kapag sila ay binreed or kinross, ang lalabas doon ay wolf-dog hybrids. Wolf-dog, ibig sabihin nito, ito yung canine na na-produce sa pamamagitan ng mating or pagkocross ng domesticated dog tsaka ng wolf. Yung hybrid, ito naman yung way na kung saan kinocross yung dalawang organisms na magparehas sila ng grupo pero magkaiba sila ng characteristics. Tulad nitong domesticated dog, pwede siyang i-crossbreed or i-mate siya kay either kay gray wolf o kaya kay eastern wolf or kay red wolf or kay Ethiopian wolf. So pag na-mate na sila, ang lalabas dyan ay itong si wolf dog. Yung interbreed kanina na ginawa doon sa dog and sa wolf at nagkaroon nga ng offspring na tinatawag natin na wolf dog, that's actually the second type of system of classification na tinatawag natin na biological concept species. Nang pioneer niyan ay si Ernst Mayr at saka si Theodosius Dobzhansky. According sa kanila, yung species daw, ito yung mga grupo or organisms na pwedeng i-interbreed at makapag-produce ng fertile offspring in the natural environment. Fertile offspring, ibig sabihin yung buhay yung magiging offspring or baby. Natural environment, ibig sabihin magkakaroon ng sexual encounter itong si male tsaka si female organism. Tapos si female, mabubuntis siya, dadalhin niya for several months at ipapanganak niya yung offspring na yon or yung organism na yon. So that's actually the concept of biological species concept, na kung saan itong species as members ng population nila, meron silang kakayahan na mag-interbreed in nature not according to similarity of appearance. Aside from wolf dog, another example of this is yung tinatawag natin na horse. Kapag in-interbreed siya kay donkey, ang magiging offspring nila ay si mule. Pero merong limitation itong classification na to, most especially sa mga extinct na species. Pero itong scheme na to, in-apply pa rin siya in most cases at madalas na ginagamit ng mga taxonomists. Noong 1940, merong nag-emerge na another classification scheme in support dito kay biological concept. Ito na yung tinatawag natin na phylogenetic species concept. So, look at this tree. Yung puno na to, may mga parts to. Dito sa pinakaibaba, ito yung root, ito yung trunk, ito yung mga branches, ito mga to, ang tawag natin dyan ay twigs, and then ito yung mga leaves. So kung titingnan nyo itong puno na to, makikita nyo yung interconnectedness ng bawat parts ng tree na yan. So the same thing yan dito sa phylogenetic species concept na kung saan pinipresent dito or pinapakita dito yung tree of life na nagsimula dito sa pinakaibaba, yung origin of life, hanggang sa nagkaroon na ng branches at umabot na dito sa human beings. At pinapakita dito yung interconnectedness ng mga organisms sa bawat isa. Ang phylogenetic species concept, ang ibig sabihin nito is irreducible group whose members are descended from a common ancestor and who all possess a combination of certain defining or derived traits. In other words, itong phylogenetic species, ito yung classifying ng organisms na hindi lang nagre-rely on showing the relationships of organisms base sa physical similarities and differences nila, but on their ancestry and descent. Kumbaga yung evolutionary relationship nila ay matitrace back dun sa possible origin ng organism na yan hanggang sa development nila pagdating sa present time. Ang tawag natin dun sa evolutionary history of a certain species ay phylogeny. So meron tatlong scientists ang nag-advocate niyan. Ito na nga sina Charles Darwin, John Baptist de Lamarck at saka si Ernst Haeckel. Sa pagkakataon na to, yung taxonomy na reach na siya beyond naming and classifying organisms para maklarify yung mga bagong methods sa theories na pwedeng magpaliwanag sa mechanism ng evolution. So nagkaroon na ng change doon sa gene pool ng bawat population over time. Kumbaga nagkaroon na ng change dito sa mga genes ng mga organisms na yan at doon na nga pumapasok yung tinatawag na phylogenetic systematics. Ito ay field ng taxonomy or biology in general na nagdi-deal with the identifying yung evolutionary relationships among many different kinds of life on Earth, both living o yung mga extant at yung mga dead o yung mga extinct na organisms. Ang underlying principle dito sa evolutionary theory ay sinasabi lang nito yung similarities among organisms ay dahil yun sa common descent or origin or background ng organism na yan or kung namana nila from their ancestors. I want to know if you're familiar with that picture. The first picture, that one is humans, that's correct. Number 2 is, that is mango. And number 3, that is a kind of bacteria. Yung present system ng naming ng organisms ay tinatawag na binomial system or binomial nomenclature. Galing sa salitang binomen na ibig sabihin ay two names in Latin. Ginagamit ito to denote a species of living organism. Yung first name, yun ay nag-indicate ng genus at yung second name ay yun naman yung specific epithet. Epithet means ito yung adjective or descriptions ng organism na yan. Legacy yan ni Swedish naturalist na si Carl von Linné or Carolus Linnaeus na siya yung nag-propose at nagpagsimula ng pagbibigay ng dalawang Latinized name sa bawat organism. Yung first name tawag doon ay genus na lagi nag-start sa capital letter. Yung second name naman ay yun yung specific na epithet na lagi nag-start sa small letter. Commonly, ang tawag dito ay scientific name ng isang organism. For example, sa human, ang scientific name nito is Homo sapiens. Itong Homo, this is the genus, and sapiens is the specific epithet. Ang ibig sabihin ng sapiens ay one who knows. Yung mango naman, that is Mangifera indica. Mangifera, that is the genus, and indica is the specific epithet. Ang ibig sabihin ay short stem or broad leaves or malapad yung kanyang dahon. And yung bacteria naman is Escherichia coli. Yung Escherichia, that is the genus, and yung coli is the specific epithet. Nang ibig sabihin nito ay nag-i-inhabit siya or nakatira siya sa intestine or colon. Bakit Latin name ang ginagamit? Dahil unang-unang common language siya, tapos mas madali siyang maintindihan ng mga biologists. Pangalawa, ideal for names yan kasi nga yung Latin words ay descriptive. Dahil doon, suited siya to identify and describe yung mga characteristics ng organism. This time, I have a challenge for you. I will call it Genius Challenge. I'm going to flash 6 pictures of species or organisms on the screen. All you have to do is to identify what group that organism belongs to. Those groups are already written on the upper right corner of the screen. Species number 1 is Gorilla. Number 2 is Moses. Number 3 is Halophile. Number 4 is Cocci. Number 5 is Paramecium. Number 6 is Mushroom. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about your answer. Alright, let us check if your answers are correct. Gorilla belongs to the group of Animalia. Moses belongs to the group of Plantae. Halophiles belongs to the group of Archaebacteria. Toxi belongs to the group of Eubacteria, Paramecium belongs to the group of Protista, and Mushroom belongs to the group of Fungi. If all your answers are correct, congratulations! Yung activity na ginawa nyo kanina ay actually yung 6 na kingdoms na ginagamit ngayon para i-classify yung mga organisms. So the first one is what we call the Archaebacteria or Archean. Sila yung oldest form ng life on Earth at na-discover sila noong 1983. Galing ito sa Greek word na archaeos, nang ibig sabihin ay ancient or primitive. Ang structural organization ng mga Archaebacteria ay una, small sila, simple single prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic, ibig sabihin sila ay unicellular, wala silang nuclear membrane. Yung cell walls nila without peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan, ito yung substance na nagpo-form ng cell wall. And pagdating naman sa methods of nutrition, sila ay mga chemotropic, ibig sabihin sila yung nagre-rely or dumidepende sa chemicals sa paligid nila or environment nila para makapag-produce sila ng sarili ng pagkain. Ang mga Archaebacteria ay mga asexual ang kanilang reproduction through binary fission. Pagdating naman sa habitat, we can find them sa mga extreme environment. Ito yung mga environment na hindi mo inaasahan na mayroong mga nabubuhay ng organisms like high salt contents, low oxygen concentration, high temperatures, at extremely acidic or alkaline soils. Dahil meron silang kakayanan malabanan yung mga extreme or harshness ng environment, tinatawag silang extremophiles. Some of the examples ng Archaeans ay itong mga methanogenics. Sila yung mga Archaeans na nagre-release ng methane as their byproduct. Extreme halophiles, sila naman yung mga salt lovers. And then, yung extreme thermophiles, sila naman yung mga heat lovers. Ito mga to, hindi lang ito nag-i-exist ng wala lang. Sila ay may mga importance din. Tulad ng ginagamit sila for the production of antibiotics, sa biogas production kasi nga nagre-release sila ng methane as their byproduct. Best source din sila ng enzymes and proteins, and ginagamit din sila for sewage treatment. The second kingdom is what we call the Eubacteria. Ang mga Eubacteria, ito yung mga most diverse or iba-iba sila at widespread sila among the prokaryotes. Yung structural organization ng Eubacteria ay sila ay mga small, simple single prokaryotic cell. Yung nucleus in organelles nila ay hindi naka-enclosed. Yung cell walls nila mayroong peptoglycan at yung iba sa kanila ay nagpo-form ng chains or mga kadena or mats or ito yung parang floor mat. Nagre-reproduce sila asexually via binary fission. Yung methods of nutrition nila is nag-absorb sila ng food, mga synthetic and chemosynthetic symbionts. Ibig sabihin, naka-attach sila dun sa mas malaking organism sa kanila. At dun sa area na naka-attach sila, ayun yung usually pinagkukuhanan nila ng absorption ng food. Makikita natin ang mga Eubacteria sa bodies of animals, yung mga ruminants tulad ng cows, goats, horses, and insects like termites na nagde-depend sa mga bacteria na to para may digest yung mga cellulose part ng plant na kanilang kinain. And yung mga sa plant tissues, sa soil, sa water, particularly sa seafloor. Ang mga examples ng Eubacteria is bacteria. Ang mga microbiologists, ina-identify nila at kinaklasify nila yung bacteria base sa shape. So meron 3 general types ng bacterial shape. Kapag yun ay spherical bacteria, ang tawag doon ay cocci. Kapag siya naman ay rod-shaped bacteria, ang tawag doon ay bacilli. At kapag siya naman ay spiral-shaped bacteria, ang tawag doon ay spirilia. Another example is cyanobacteria. Ito ay mga photoautotrophs. Ibig sabihin, hinaharness nila yung sunlight and ginagamit nila yung carbon dioxide at nagre-release sila ng oxygen. Last example is spirochetes. Itong spirochetes, makikita yan sa leptospirosis. Ang importance ng Eubacteria is una nagpo-produce ito ng nitrogens, vitamins, and antibiotics. Producer din ito ng oxygen tulad ni cyanobacteria. Decomposers din ito ng mga sewers, yung mga waste matter, at sila ay nagpe-perform din ng housekeeping role sa ating katawan. Sila ay nagde-decompose ng ating mga dead skin cells at nagsisilbi silang guard sa katawan natin against disease-causing intruders or yung mga foreign organisms na pumapasok sa ating katawan. Yung pangatlong kingdom is what we call the Protista. Ito yung mga most primitive forms, yung mga sinaunang organisms, pero sila ay iba-iba among unicellular eukaryotic organism. Eukaryotic, ibig sabihin, yung kanilang nucleus sa cell nila ay na-enclose siya within a nuclear membrane. So, ang structural organization ng mga Protista is sila ay mga large or malalaki single eukaryotic cell, meaning yung nucleus and organelles nila ay enclosed by membranes. Yung iba sa kanila ay unicellular, yung iba naman ay multicellular. Yung cell wall nila ay merong mga mga cellulose. And then yung iba naman nagpo-form sila ng chains or parang mga kadena, at iba naman colonies, ibig sabihin cluster of individual protist cells. Yung methods of nutrition naman nila dalawa. Heterotrophs yung iba sa kanila, ibig sabihin nag-absorb at nag-i-ingest ng food. Pangalawa naman is autotrophs. Ibig sabihin nagpe-perform sila ng photosynthesis para makapag-produce sila ng pagkain. Yung habitat ng mga protists is usually sila yung mga aquatic organisms. May kita sila sa mga dam soil, ponds, puddles, lakes, streams, and oceans. Even sa mga body fluids ng ibang organisms. Some of the examples ng Protista, itong major groups niya. Una is algae, yung mga green, brown algae, like this one, microalga. Yung pangalawang major group niya is euglenoids. Isa sa mga examples nito is yung euglena. Yung pangatlong major group is ciliates. One of the examples of this is yung paramecium. And then yung pang-apat na major group is protozoans. One of the examples of that is yung amoeba. And then yung pang-lima na major group is what we call flagellates. One of the examples is dinoflagellate. The other examples of these are we have the slime mold and the diatom. Ang economic importance ng Protista is unan, producers for marine and freshwater ecosystem. Nagsisilbi silang pagkain sa ibang organisms. Pangalawa, they act as predators and parasites sa ibang organisms. They also cause various diseases. Importance ito kasi nire-reduce nila yung number ng population ng organism. Nagkukos sila ng disease doon sa organism na yon. And last one is ina-apply to sa mga industry and food processing like toothpaste and paints. And the fourth and the sixth kingdom is what we call kingdom Plantae. Mga Plantae, lahat na ng plants ay kasama dito. Sila ay mga eukaryotic, multicellular, and autotrophic organisms. Tulad ng sabi ko kanina, eukaryotic meaning to say yung kanilang nucleus sa cell nila ay naka-enclose within the cell membrane. Ang kingdom Plantae, ang structural organization niyan is multicellular, formed with specialized eukaryotic cells na merong rigid cell walls and chlorophyll. Yung chloroplast nila merong green pigment doon na tinatawag na chlorophyll. Yung mga Plantae, meron silang inability to locomote. Ibig sabihin, they cannot move from one place to another. Nakastay lang sila doon sa place na yan. Ang mga plants referred as producers kasi nga nagpo-provide sila ng food for many other forms ng organism. Isa sa mga structures ng plant ay meron silang mga plant embryo or tinatawag na seeds. May dalawang klase yon, yung gymnosperm, ito yung mga naked seeds. Ibig sabihin yung kanilang ovules and seeds ay hindi protected ng flower or ng fruit tissue. The second one is angiosperms. Ito naman yung mga seeds na naka-enclose within the protective wall ng ovary. Ovary is yung female sex organ ng plant na yan. Isa sa mga examples ng gymnosperm is yung cycads. Sa angiosperms naman, isa sa mga examples yan ay sunflower. Yung methods of nutrition ng Plantae is sila ay autotrophic. Ibig sabihin, nagpe-perform sila ng photosynthesis para makapag-produce ng food. Sa habitat naman, may mga plants na nakatira sa water or mga aqueous plants sila. Pero vast majority ng mga plants naka-reside sila or makikita sila sa Earth's land area. There are two general types ng kingdom Plantae. Una is vascular. Ito yung mga walang vascular tissue. Vascular tissue, ito yung nagtatransport ng water at nutrients dun sa katawan ng plants na to. Ang examples nito is bryophytes, tulad ng liverworts, ng hornworts, tsaka ng moses. Second group of Plantae is what we call vascular. Sila yung may mga vascular tissues. Ibig sabihin, meron silang kakayahan na mag-transport ng water at nutrients within the plant body. So may dalawang klase yung vascular tissues. Una is phloem. Sila yung nagmamanufacture ng food dun sa ibang parts ng body ng plant na yan. Pangalawa is xylem. Sila na may nag-absorb ng water and minerals. Isa sa mga examples ng vascular plants is yung tracheophytes, tulad ng ferns and horsetails. Ang importance ng kingdom Plantae is una, sila yung makikita doon sa nakaibaba ng food chains kasi nga producer sila, nagpo-produce sila ng food sa ibang organisms. Sa tao naman, ginagamit sila for human crops. So tinatanim sila ng mga tao para pagkakitaan at the same time magsilbing food source na rin. And then, nagpo-provide din to ng materials na ginagamit din to for building materials tulad ng mga woods na ginagawa sa paggawa ng bahay, clothing, yung mga fiber from the plants ginagawang tela, cordage, yung ginagawang yung rope or tali. Medicine, ito yung mga herbal plants. Beverages, ito yung mga plants na pwedeng gawing inumin tulad ng mga juices like mango juice, grape juice, orange juice, etc. At yung panglima sa anim na kingdom ay tinatawag natin na fungi. Ito yung mga organisms na kung saan yung ancestors nila ay nag-exist pa sa Earth noong 900 million years ago. So, nasa Precambrian period yan. Ang mga fungi ay meron silang characteristics na medyo kapareha sa animal kingdom. Ang structural organization ng fungi is multicellular sila, mga filamentous form. Para silang mga rod shape with specialized eukaryotic cells. Wala silang photosynthetic pigments tulad ng plants na merong chlorophyll. Yung cell walls nila ay merong chitin. Chitin, ito yung polysaccharide na may kita dun sa skeleton ng mga arthropods. Most fungi ay mga saprophytic, ibig sabihin, nag-absorb sila ng nutrients from dead organisms. Iba naman parasitic, nag-absorb sila ng nutrients from living organisms or mga buhay na organisms. Iba naman predators, pinapatay nila yung organisms for food. And symbiotic naman yung iba. Meron silang live-in close relationship with other organisms. Ang mga fungi, they can reproduce sexually and asexually. Yung methods of nutrition naman nila is nag-absorb ng food, either saprophytic, parasitic, predatory, or symbiotic. Makikita natin ang mga fungi sa mga dark moist condition, dun sa mga hostile environment, ito yung environment na hindi mo akalain na may mabubuhay ng organism, like tundra, ito yung treeless and permanently frozen na area. Nag-grow din ang mga fungi sa mga forest floor, dark and damp environment. Mga examples nito or members ng kingdom fungi are mushrooms, yeasts, molds, or bread mold, and we have mildews. Ito yung mga white something na makikita dito sa surface ng dahon. And then rusts, ito yung parang mga kalawang sa surface ng dahon, and bracket fungi. Other examples are we have Alomyces, mycorrhizal fungi, and morels. Ang importance ng kingdom fungi is una, they provide numerous drugs tulad ng penicillin. Pangalawa is nagsisilbi silang food like mushroom. Pangatlo, nagiging agent sila for fermentation, brewing, and making of bread. And last one is sila ay mga model organisms na ginagamit sa pag-aaral ng mga problems in genetics. The last kingdom in the 6 kingdoms is yung tinatawag na Kingdom Animalia. Ito yung pinakamalaking kingdom in the world at meron silang at least 4 million species na na-name na at na-identify. Hindi masabi yung exact number niyan. Sinasabi ng mga experts, nasa 9 to 10 million species of animals ang naninirahan sa mundo. Ang Kingdom Animalia, ang kanyang structural organization, siya ay multicellular, meron siyang mga specialized eukaryotic cells pero wala siyang cell walls and chlorophylls tulad ng Plantae. Meron siyang mga tissues na merong specific na function. In most animals, yung mga tissues niya ay further organized into organs and organ system. They can reproduce sexually. Kailangan ng egg and sperm cell para sa reproduction. Yung methods of nutrition nila is more on ingesting food doon sa kanilang internal cavity. Ito trophic sila. Ibig sabihin indirectly or directly nagre-rely sila sa mga organisms para sa kanilang nourishment. Makikita natin ang mga to usually sa mga seas, fewer in fresh water, and even fewer on land. Ang mga examples nito ay may dalawang classification. Una is vertebrates. Ito yung animals na may backbone tulad nitong Pisces, yung fish, itong mammal like lion, reptile, lizard, amphibians, ito yung frog, and birds, ito yung apes. Yung invertebrates naman, ito yung animals na walang backbones like Porifera, Annelida, Echidnormata, Cnidarian, Arthropoda, helminths, and mollusca. Ecologically, itong mga animals dito sa kingdom nito nag-occupy sila ng level of consumers na kung saan subdivided siya ng herbivores, ito yung mga plant eaters, carnivores, ito naman yung mga animal eaters, and omnivores, ito yung plant and animal eaters. When it comes to importance, ecologically, they need each other, itong mga organisms na to para mabuhay sila sa ecosystem. Economic importance, ginagawa itong source of food, ginagawang pet, at nakakatulong to sa mga human activities. Nutritional importance, since yung mga organisms na to ay may mga nutrients, minerals, and vitamins sa kanilang katawan at kinakain sila, so nakakatulong sila for the nourishment ng ibang organisms. Iba naman dito, ginagamit para sa pollination. Nakakatulong sila sa pagpaparami ng mga organisms. And of course, ginagamit ang mga to for medical research. At ito pa, ibang mga example organisms ng Kingdom Animalia. Finally, this ends this video discussion. I hope that you're able to understand the lesson in this video. I hope that next time you will still join me in my next science video discussion. Thank you for listening.